Hi guys, welcome to Poseidon Sport Fishing, Tackle and Charter. As part of this series, part 1 and part 2, we showed you how to choose a rod, how to choose the reel, how to choose the line. And in this session, we're going to show you how to create rigs for bait fishing. When it comes to bait fishing, you have to realize that fishing is going to be slow at times and sometimes it's going to be hot. So fishing is not always about catching a fish. It's about going out there, enjoying yourself out in the outdoors and meeting your friends and loved ones and enjoying the outdoor time. A lot of people fish all their life and then realize that it's not the fish that they're after. So we'll go through the first rig, which is the three-way rig. So as part of the three-way rig, so we have the main line coming from the rod. So we have a three-way swivel and we have a leader attached to one of those points here and the hook, and we have the leader attached to a sinker. The leader that's attached to the hook, we normally use little heavier leader, and the one attached to the sinker, we use little lighter. The reason for this is sometimes when your sinker is stuck to the rocks, you can apply a little bit of pressure from your rod and you can actually break off the sinker and still retrieve most of your rig. And sometimes you might hook onto a fish and that fish could get into the rocks and the sinker might get stuck. So again, the same situation, you break off the sinker, so you retrieve the fish. So I'm just going to show you how this rig is done in a minute. So I'm just using my poker mat here, so that way it's more contrasting for you to see this. And again, for this rig, you will be using leader material, but to make it visible, I'm just using some colorful braided line to make it easy. So we have the three-way swivel here. So what the three-way swivel does, it actually prevents the line getting twists. So to the top end, I'll be attaching the main line which comes from the rod. So I tie a uni knot. I'll show you how the uni knot is done in a minute. And I attach a sinker to the bottom, again using a uni knot. And I've tied a hook here using a knotless knot, and I've used the snelled method. There's a YouTube video on my channel. Please watch that to see how to tie this knot. So I'm going to tie this to this point here using a double uni knot. So I'm going to go through this once and I'm going to go through it twice, and this uni knot is a universal knot which will cover most of your fishing applications. 90% of the fishing can be done just with this one knot. So now I'm going to go through this few times. 1, 2, 3. So depending on the thickness of the leader, you might want to go more number of times or lesser number of times. The thicker the leader, you just have to go few number of times. The leader thickness is less, you can go probably 6 to 7 times. So once you pull, it's going to tighten here. So I'm going to trim this knot. So I've done the trimming of the tag end. So this is how the rig is gonna look. So I'll attach the main line to this top toe point, and I can use a normal sinker or a surf sinker if the water current is high and the waves are high. So this digs into the sand and actually make sure that your bait is not moving too far away or getting washed away into the shore. So the first rig is covered. Now we're going to go through the fish finder rig or the running sinker rig. So for this, so what we're going to do is we have the main line And this is an easy clip which you get in the store. So you'll put the main line through one of the holes on this end and get it out the other, and then you put a bead, and then you tie a swivel using a uni knot. The reason why you're putting a bead here is to prevent this easy clip with the sinker weight hitting this knot over and over again, and that will eliminate the line not getting damaged and the knot not getting damaged. So you'll put the weight according to the current on the day. You can use a normal one or a surf sinker like the one I showed you earlier, and then lock this clip. So the advantage with this rig is when the fish takes the hook and runs, it's not going to feel the line. It's not going to feel any resistance. So it's going to freely move. So I'm just going to tie a hook on this end. So my hook will be tied to this end. Again, you can just tie this here using a uni knot, and this is a running sinker rig, and this is very effective for the most of the surf beaches. And the last rig that we're going to go through is a paternoster rig. There are two variations of doing this. You can actually do a single paternoster or a twisted paternoster rig. So there are two hooks, and these both won't get tangled with each other. So this is good when you're actually fishing off a pier or things like that. And the other two ones are good for most of the beach fishing. So the last ready-made rig that you can also use is you can use a sebiki to fish off the surf beaches as a beginner. So what sebiki is, it's a series of hooks coming off the line with swivels on both ends. So you'll attach one of these weights here in one end. So we have weights in store from 1 ounce to 5 ounce. So you can use the weight according to the day of the current. So you can cast these from the surf beaches and slowly reel them in. So what this does is this actually brings the sebiki hooks closer to you. As it moves, it's going to look like a small prawn trying to flee. So you'll get a lot of whiting and small trevallies on these. So these are good fun when you're taking the kids out on the beach fishing, or even when you want to catch some whiting for a feed. So now we've covered all the three basic rigs and also the sebiki. So try and use a small hook as possible when you're doing beach fishing, because most of the fishes will take the smaller bait and smaller hook unless you're targeting big GTs or anything in particular. So you can also use a normal small hook and a split shot when you're fishing in fresh water. So from the main line, you'll attach the hook, and then to make sure that the hook is actually going in the water suspended, you'll use a split shot on the line. So you'll just press one of these on the line. So this will help your bait go down into the water. And hope this session was helpful and informative. Please like, share and comment on our YouTube video. Thanks for watching.